Okay, perceivers. All right, well, I'll let you guys... What?
Hey!
I'm excited.
You should be.
What are you excited about?
Because we get to... The perceivers get to meet Aunt G. It's the number one question I get asked.
What's that?
Where are you?
Where's Aunt G? And I'm like, God knows. But this is your chance to finally meet everybody's favorite member of the podcast.
I don't know about that.
We will be at the Staten Island Alamo Draft House, 7:30 p.m., Friday, 7/21. That is July 21st. We'll be watching Oppenheimer. We'd like you all to join us. We'll hang out in the bar after or a bar after.
Promises to be hell of a
There's a
romp.
bar there.
Yeah, there is a bar there. We will try to
hang
make
out.
this fun.
We're gonna hang out.
Destroyer Worlds.
Yeah.
I will give anybody
Karaoke afterwards.
anybody that shows up with a pen and paper, you will get a signed personal sketch
Really?
of my art.
You're gonna make a sketch.
Of the nuclear bomb?
It could be anything.
It's gonna
you
look
tell
like
me
a
what you
thing
want.
of cauliflower.
What are you, like a fucking... What do they call those guys that make... caricature artists. You can do that. You can make insulting...
Yeah.
Insulting portraits.
Except I'm trying my hardest to get a likeness.
Yeah. It's good.
I'm really
so
sleepy
come see
today.
us.
So July 21st, 7:30, Alamo Draft House, Staten Island. We'll be watching Oppenheimer. It's going to be us three. Get him is there. So come on down, Alamo, Staten Island, July 21st, 7:30 p.m. Hope to see you there. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert, joined here by...
As always, Stephen Douglas.
And...
Anthony Galati. Hi. Good to see you all.
Guys, it's time for my favorite holiday.
Oh, yeah?
Favorite holiday? What do you mean?
4th of July, baby.
Oh.
Oh, is that when this is coming out?
Yeah.
Independence Day.
Oh, that explains a lot. That explains a lot.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
I didn't know why you put me through this torturous piece of shit.
It's the day we look at all Brits and we go, fuck you.
Yep. Oh.
But
won't do what you told me.
Yeah, exactly. And we look to our art as a thing of defiance, and we put forth the true masterpieces of film and art literature done by Americans, and we go, fuck yeah. We made revolution. Suck it, Brits. It was
British
all
movie.
worth it. It is a British movie.
Yeah, made by British people. Did you know that?
Yeah, I found that out.
This movie is not good.
This is a stinker. Is this the worst?
No, I liked it.
No.
I kind of
I
liked
think it might have been the worst.
I liked the first, 20 to 30 minutes.
Maybe 3
And
minutes.
then it just goes off the fucking rails.
I feel like there's a good movie in there that was
Somewhere in
like
there.
lost.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it was like just butchered in editing or something.
So they said it was rushed.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
made by the same people that made Gandhi and Chariots of Fire,
Okay.
and it's obvious Oscar bait.
Oh, it wants to be so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And Pacino, maybe the most miscast guy ever in this.
Agreed. Yeah.
He doesn't belong there.
He's basically Scarface. Yeah, that's how he's talking.
I don't like these British.
This is the director of Chariots of Fire.
Yeah,
Hey, he just said it.
It's
he, Al, that is this is before he went off the rails and became.
well, this is when he's still acting.
Yes, this is when he's still Michael Corleone. He's more Michael Corleone than he is Scent of a Woman.
Yes. After Sense of a Woman,
Right.
it's I scream from
And
now
it's,
on.
yeah.
No.
But he's still kind of coming out of the my father.
Yeah, exactly. The soft-spoken Al.
Right.
I think his performance in this is good, though.
No, it's terrible. He mumbles.
it's not
He
good.
has a mullet.
It's not good.
He's almost inaudible for most of it. I know you guys don't watch movies with subtitles. I do. So I knew what was happening. I'm sure you guys were lost
Completely.
for most of this movie.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I heard everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't even make out what the English
Where
people
did
were saying.
Where did you watch it?
On my TV through Amazon.
Okay, yeah, I ordered it on Amazon too. The version, I tried to watch it on an illegal site, and it was in Italian. Yeah.
I watched 20 minutes of that and then realized this isn't supposed to be in Italian. I was like, why are they making me watch an Italian movie? And then,
So it started, and like the opening text was like Italian, and I was like, okay,
weird.
but maybe the dialogue will be in English. And then I'm watching it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, they're speaking Italian. I
the
have to pay for
subtitles were
this.
wrong.
Why don't we have more American Revolutionary movies?
I was wondering that during this.
Because do you really need anything after the Patriot?
But you had like...
Do ya?
Yeah, you do, actually.
But you had like 70 years, almost 80 years of American cinema before The Patriot.
I'm sure there's things from like the 30s,
Oh, yeah.
but it just seems like there's a big hole in that section of history that it really could be filled fairly easily.
I think so.
Sure.
There's plenty of stories there. Civil War too. We've had that.
You know what?
Civil
You know
War
what I
is
think it is? I think it's that...
It's that World War II became the new founding mythology of the United States, and
Yeah.
nobody actually cares about anything that happened
Well,
before it.
I think that's a part of it, but I also think it's the fighting itself is so much more...
Awesome.
It's harder to make it interesting because there's more like
Line battles.
you know?
I love that stuff. I think that's fascinating and cool.
I think it's cool too, but I don't think
What's
it's...
scarier than a bayonet charge?
I don't think it's as visually interesting from a film perspective as far as things you can do.
It
Because you are
hasn't-
kind of forced to be like, enemy A is on this side, enemy B is on this side.
It hasn't
Go.
been done properly yet.
It has. I mean,
I think it's been done
there's
well.
things
Modern
like
times?
I've never seen it, but Waterloo is a legendary movie. You know,
Well, I
like
haven't seen it
there's-
either, so maybe that's why I'm saying it. Like, I've never seen, even like through scourging the internet for like, clips, I've never seen a Revolutionary War
The Patriot
movie
looks great. And
with correct line battles done, where it seems like gritty details. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe the Patriot, yeah, but that's why I said, do you need another one after the Patriot? Because that's the only one really that comes to mind when you think about it. No?
I just
Am
thought of
alone here?
another one and it left me.
Well, I'm sure I'll go through the research
Yeah.
and see if I can find clips for the video. But
Gettysburg, I think that movie has awesome
that's,
shit.
you know, Civil War.
Yes.
Well, we're talking. It's still a similar fighting style.
It's a little more
Not-
advanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the basics are there.
But this movie,
Oh, I was going to say, the brief little encounter they have in Brooklyn in this film, I think it looks good.
the
think
movie
it look-
looks visually awesome.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
It's a beautiful looking movie. You don't think so?
I legit thought the cinematography was awful.
I think you're out of your mind.
Okay.
I thought
What?
that was the one shining good
Yeah.
thing. I thought
I
the
legit-
production values kick ass.
Yeah.
I like the scenes. I like the settings. I'm talking about the looks of the movie themselves. Some of the scenes are really dark. Some of the scenes actually don't match the color of the other scenes. It actually was poorly done.
I completely disagree.
There's one part where they're in the courtyard and there's 4 or 5 different color schemes for the same shot, for the same sequence. It's actually poorly done.
I don't know what sequence you're talking about.
It was some of the reviews I looked up even was like the cinematography's bad. Like
I thought the cinematography was great.
it was
You
shot
watched a
on
different movie.
It was shot on 70 millimeter. It looks like it was shot on like 16.
You're watching it on a TV. You're not watching it on a 70
No, that was
millimeter production.
a
a review.
review, like an actual critic review. Like it looks bad.
Well, the movie came out in 1985. One of the most notorious years for box office hits.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What do we got?
This movie came out Christmas Day, 1985.
Christmas Day.
1985.
No,
This-
we got Back to the Future.
So this is primed to be a box office hit. Like they want this to be an Oscar winner
Yeah.
when you're releasing it on that date. The number one movie on Christmas Day, 1985, was Rocky IV.
Okay.
Let me pull up the top grossing movies of December
Rocky
1985.
IV is a terrible movie, by the way.
Yes, but it's also amazing.
Yes, it's fun to watch. Unlike this. This is a slog and a half.
I wanted to shut it off. I actually texted you guys. I was like, in any other circumstance, this would be off already.
I was enjoying the beginning.
I like the settings that they do.
Yeah.
They do a good job of setting up the environment and the crowds of people and the outfits.
Yeah,
they
all
do
that's
good with that. And
there's extras everywhere. in
yeah,
this.
give credit where it's due. But everything else, it was bad.
There's no story.
There's no story at all.
Yeah.
That's the biggest sin.
right.
I actually debated about texting you guys, being like, "Hey, there's no like details we could even look up. Like, are we sure this counts as like a movie we could do?
Did you get the list, Brian?
Okay, so
Yeah.
the number 1 movie of December 1985, Rocky 4.
Okay.
Number 2, Spies Like Us.
Okay.
Jewel of the Nile.
Okay. So far, it doesn't seem
Brian,
like
your list stinks.
Young
yeah.
Sherlock Holmes. These are all big movies, though. The Color Purple.
That's a big one.
Color Purple's big.
Clue, which was
I love Clue, but that's a bomb too.
Back to the Future, which came out in July, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go all the way down the list. Revolution cost $30 million,
Okay.
and it made $100,000.
Ooh. Wow.
In December. The total box office gross of the movie was $358,000.
So no one saw
Crap.
this.
Nobody
We
saw
are one
this.
of the elite few that have seen this movie in the last 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Wow.
This is a forgotten movie.
I did not know it existed. And obviously, I'm interested in the subject matter, and this is something I should have been very excited
Yeah.
to watch, throughout my life.
This isn't
I
even
didn't
like-
even know it existed.
But it's
until
not even
very
like
recently.
they're rerunning it on TV because it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's just buried and dead.
Gone. No one knows it's there. I
Rightfully
found
so.
out afterward that Al Pacino didn't make another movie for 4 years after this.
It almost-
Really?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
almost ended his
It like
career.
broke
It like
his-
broke him. Yeah.
It's when I was like, if you pull up the Wikipedia and you read the critics and what they said when, like, from
I
the
have it
first
up.
previews,
I watched the
It's
Siskel and
really
Ebert
brutal.
episode about it.
Did you?
Yeah.
How bad did they?
They were not fans. They did not like
Two
it.
thumbs down?
2 thumbs down.
yeah. Can you read some of the like?
Oh, yeah, I actually have one
because
up.
They are brutal.
Yeah. This is a UK based review. Well, I'll just read some of the buzzwords. Watching Revolution is a little like visiting a museum. It looks good without really being alive. The film doesn't tell a story so much as it uses characters to illustrate what the American Revolution has come to mean.
No, it doesn't.
And
It doesn't even do that.
Yeah.
I won't
No.
even give it that.
Someone said it's an almost inconceivable disaster which tries for a worm's eye view of the American Revolution.
Worms eye view.
Maybe the original script had a shape and a grasp of the events. If so, it is gone. There's clearly been drastic cutting, and nothing is left but a cortege of fragments and mismatched cuts.
And yeah.
It's also the first 70 millimeter movie that looks as if it was shot handheld on 16 millimeter and blown up for the big screen. Director, I didn't catch the credit. Was there one?
Yeah, I mean, maybe the colors are a bit off, but it is a dark-looking movie.
It is dark. Yeah.
But I think tonally that kind of works.
But at
for
one
it.
point,
I thought-
Well, we'll get to it.
I thought the cinematography was stunning, honestly. Throughout the whole movie, I was like, this looks great.
what impressed me was
surprised
like
you
the
guys said that.
costumes and
Yes.
sets and things.
Well,
like
that all was great, too.
Sets were great.
Yeah.
The money, look, the movie cost $30 million and it's all on screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything else is horrible.
It's all in Al Pacino's.
budget.
Yeah.
Went to his pocket.
But yeah, I guess let's talk about it.
Sure.
Also, real quick, the movie was nominated for 4 Golden Raspberries. Worst
movie ever.
picture, worst director, worst actor, worst musical score. The
Score.
film won the Stinkers Bad Movie Award for worst picture.
The score is atrocious.
I didn't even notice it, to be honest.
The score opens up. I thought it sounded like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. There's a lot of confusing stuff. And like I said, usually we spend about a half hour diving into a film. We spent about 10 minutes. The backstory is literally the intro to this film.
Well, it opens with some text,
Yes.
and I had like 10 problems with the text right off
Let's
the
go.
bat. All right,
get into
so it says it's the 4th of July,
Yes,
Yes.
the declaration
movie,
is signed.
which is just wrong because
right out the gate.
the movie starts with New York and up. They're in
Yes.
New York, right? And
Yeah.
it says the British are on Long Island. No,
30,000 redcoats on Long Island, and
Yep.
militia is forming in New York.
No. On the 4th of July, so the British landed in Staten Island
yeah.
on July 2nd. Okay.
Yeah.
The declaration was signed on the 4th, as we all
Yeah.
know. And New York didn't find out about that until the 9th.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Why do we celebrate the signing? Like, I get it, but shouldn't we also celebrate when we actually throw them out? Like, shouldn't that be a holiday also?
No,
like
because
Yorktown?
the birth of the nation is when
the
the
second
colonies
it's
got
signed?
together and say,
Signing, yeah.
we are a nation.
Okay.
It's not like if we were playing by Britain's rules, it's when they decide we're a nation. No, it's when we decide. Fuck
Okay,
that,
okay.
You know?
Yeah.
They don't recognize us.
I
but
do wish that we would.
we recognize ourselves.
I do wish that we would. What's it called? We would celebrate like the Battle of Yorktown. Like it was like whatever, like August 10th. You know, like it was like a thing.
That would be cool.
Yeah, right. Ant looks like he was fighting in the Revolution. And he took a stray bullet.
I came all the way here, and I had no idea I had this hole in my. I look silly on camera now. But yeah, yes, I've been in battle. I got a stray one. They shot my horse out from under me. But yeah, so the movie says it's 4th of July. That's impossible by the events depicted. So what they do is, what happened was, when the news of the Declaration made its way up to New York City, the people got out in the street. They started celebrating and doing all the things. They tear the statue of George III down, which we see in the movie. Yeah. That happens on the 9th. So,
that was really the 9th in real life.
Yeah. And they show them throwing it in the river, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they chop it up and throw the body parts into the river.
In real life, it's made of lead, so they actually melted the statue down and made it into about 4,000 bullets.
That's even cooler.
It's way cooler. Why wouldn't you put that in the movie?
Because they did no research. they just winged this.
But the movie has you thinking that the battle's on already. Like
it's like
no, that
the Brits from that moment are ready to fucking go.
Yeah, no, it's that was in August.
And you said this is a British produced movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because the British
and it's
are
filmed
just
in England.
Basically Nazis in this.
No, I don't think they are. I think Donald Sutherland's character is pretty
Terrible.
You think so? I think he's kind of relatable. Yeah, he
What
tries.
character?
Yeah, you're right.
What are you
That's
talking
what I'm
about?
saying.
Yeah.
He's the best part of the movie, by the way. Donald Sutherland is the best thing in the movie.
No.
No?
No.
What's the best thing in the movie?
The best thing in the movie is, other than like I love the cinematography, is the
Huron.
the Huron,
Yeah.
the Indians.
Yeah.
Okay.
The natives.
They're okay.
I thought they were fucking
They
cool.
have the only character development in the whole film, and they're only in like 3 scenes.
Graham Greene was there.
yeah.
You know Graham Greene from Kicking Bird from Dance with Wolves? Yeah.
So now that we know the
Wait,
real
what I love though,
story,
so the movie opens, it's July 4th and all this. Pacino is sailing on a boat down the Hudson.
He's a trapper.
Okay. I got such a gripe with this.
You didn't like that?
I got such a gripe.
Okay.
First off, if you're sailing, like if I don't sailing, walking, biking, driving, and you see a riot, why are you going to go park in the riot?
That's a good point.
Well, he wants to go home. They're from New York.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's a riot.
You
Maybe
can
make
dock
it
anywhere.
Maybe make
it's
it
a coast.
some special
And
circumstances.
I love the woman yelling at him though,
Yeah.
like,
That's-
"Oh, this is freedom."
That's
What were you expecting?
Annie Lennox.
Who's that?
She was like a singer at the time. She was
Okay.
a big star.
And they pull up and they're like, "Your boat. We're gonna use it for war now."
Yeah.
Like
It's conscripted.
They conscripted
it
his
is.
boat.
It is not even a sailboat. It's a paddle boat.
Yeah, but that's what they need. They're fighting in New York City. It's islands. They got to be able to
Sure,
ferry
I
guys.
guess.
I mean, we've
around.
seen the Washington picture.
Right.
Yeah.
I am of the opinion.
But they rob him. I can laugh about it. Like it's just like what?
No more king. No more king. Thank you for your service.
Here's a note. And it's like
Notes for boats.
I
That was the Cars for Kids spinoff.
Right.
Notes for
1877 notes for boats.
Some local New York stuff.
Yeah.
it really. I was so right at the start. I'm like, I'm just lost at this point.
I actually kind of liked all that. And,
I did too.
It's a more cynical view of the Americans than we're used to
Well,
seeing. when
yes,
talking about
and
this
that's
stuff.
what I enjoyed that the movie has like this unglamorous portrayal of war
Of
and the people in it and the
revolutionaries, yeah.
revolution, and it's like
boomer.
we always hear this like, you know, they're amazing and all this, but it's like the flag was literally join or die, but you never see them actually do like join or die, and they do to Pacino here.
Right. Well, you forget that, the revolution was carried out by a handful of radicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the mass of the population was on board with this. It was either they had to make a decision, they're the normies.
Yep.
You got the radical left and the radical right, the Tories. And there's a whole lot of people stuck in the middle of this. And Al Pacino happens to be one of those guys that they rob his boat and conscript his son.
it just is.
I love that he's not an idealist.
I get it.
Right.
I get what they were doing, but it's
He doesn't have a stake.
boomerish.
It's the reverse.
So
It's the
boomerish.
reverse
Do
Patriot.
you think it is?
Dude, it's so
When I was
boomer.
watching it, I started to think I'm looking because I didn't know what to think of the movie. I knew nothing about the movie.
Yeah.
So I was watching it in that first like 20 minutes or so. I'm like, oh, this is Vietnam era
Yeah.
cynicism.
Yeah.
You know, they're mad about war or something.
Yeah.
And afterward, I was like,
You tested that to us, and I didn't get that by the end.
I changed my
I
assessment on
agreed.
that.
I still agree.
You think so?
Oh, dude, there's so.
Because I feel like that's a 70s thing, and we're
Yeah.
kind of beyond that.
Well, this
by
movie
this
wants
point.
to be a '70s movie. It looks like a '70s movie.
This is 85. It's been Morning in America for 5 years again, you know?
Right, it's the Reagan era.
I know.
Rocky
but
4 is a huge movie because it's fucking Rocky beating a fucking Soviet.
That's
I
all.
know.
And when I made that judgment, I also didn't know it was made by a British man.
Okay.
And since it is made by a British man, perhaps there's that English angle of maybe these colonists are out of line. It's me
Right.
lingering fucking, 300 years later.
I like that it's just kind of like, look, they're not, no one is a good guy really or an explicitly bad guy.
Well, there is a child rapist.
dude, they are so bad with this storytelling. It's egregious. It's
Yeah.
really egregious.
Well, the love story is the worst love story I've ever seen put to
There
screen.
is no love story.
Yeah.
You didn't like Daisy?
It is the worst love story ever put
This
to
is
film.
the worst.
You didn't roll a
story.
tear at the end when he sees her again?
This is the worst story put to film. Easily.
So you think this is the worst movie like you've ever seen?
This is one of the worst I've ever seen. Like when I okay, not like joking worst, like a movie that tried to be real and failed. This takes the cake.
Yeah, like this isn't like The Room. You're saying
Right.
for something that actually had ambition.
They were trying to win an Oscar, and failing this bad is like
Had competence.
It was an
Yeah.
and their sets were amazing. It was an embarrassment. Like, I'm sorry.
Apparently, there's a commentary track with on like the
way.
2009 DVD with Pacino and the director talking about. the
Yeah, I
movie.
remember filming this.
And they talk
Look
about
at my
like,
wig.
they talk about how it flopped and shit.
Oh my god, can't imagine why.
I look like Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon.
On the
Put the headband on.
Yeah, he has a headband.
it looks like Rambo.
Yeah.
I like how on the wall there was a piss on all the British. Piss on all British. Were you turned on when you saw that?
Yes.
He's like, that's my favorite website. All British piss all the time.
A lot of tea. So we find out he goes to get paid for his boat, and there's no money for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Like when you win the war, it'll be over in 2 weeks. We'll pay you, which
They give him a promissory note from the
Yep.
yeah, for
Committee of Public
$70
Safety.
or
Yeah.
something like that, and 100. If you join the war, they said you get 150 acres of land,
150.
which is once again, huh?
Yeah.
What?
I had never heard that before.
Me neither.
Yeah, were they playing on the like 300 acres and a mule thing?
I think so, but
Well,
that's not
That's
the
I know
same
that's
thing.
different. That's
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
But are they trying to play on that?
No, it's not. It wouldn't have been uncommon, to try and raise an army and promise them land as a. I
feel like
that's
that
a Roman thing.
That would have been a
But,
pretty big topic.
Well,
of
what does America?
conversation.
What does America have? Endless land.
Yeah, but still, it's like that's a pretty big detail to leave out of every single history book and movie, and like
It may
we would've
very.
came across
It's something that obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it may have been something that was promised, but on like a small scale. Maybe the New York, committee promised this and then took it back. I
Or
don't know.
maybe-
like a unknown thing.
or maybe this is anti-war, anti-government drivel.
Well, at the end of
Which-
the movie,
They set up Shay's Rebellion.
that's exactly what I was going to
Yeah.
say.
Yup.
Yes. And that they're setting it up.
I think that's the only
this.
reason for this scene is to pay it off at
Yeah.
the end.
Well, it's the same character at the
It
end.
is,
Did you
yeah.
notice that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. They offer him this land and money for his boat. Well, no, not for his boat, for his service.
For service.
But he doesn't join up until his son.
His
he
son.
walks outside and realizes his son got drafted while he was.
He's like, I
while he
want
was
a
inside
drum.
the
You
courthouse.
got it. Sign here.
Yeah.
How old was this kid? 12.
Yeah.
Like, and they're just like, yeah, he can go to war.
Well, they need
that's-
drummer boys.
That's it. That's yeah.
I guess
That's what went on.
Yes. But then when his father comes over, he's like, nah, he doesn't have my permission. And they're like, too bad.
Fuck you.
Do you
Yeah.
really? I find that really hard to believe.
I find that so believable.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. When it's easy for us to have on our American rose-colored glasses. I'm wearing a fucking USA shirt.
Listen,
It's like
yeah, I get that.
you have to think these are people that are like, nothing is more important than winning this. We're going to do whatever it takes. Our flag literally says join or die.
There's literally a mob of angry radicals in the street doing this, by the way, in the film.
I get it.
One thing I do want to quickly point out about military service at that time in history is this is kind of the first time you get the citizen soldier, you know, the guy who's a farmer,
volunteers.
who's volunteering, picking up a rifle and going out to fight for his country. Yeah. Contrast that with the guys in the British Army at the same time. It's like these are mercenary killers whose lives are dedicated. They're not fighting for their nation. They're fighting to get rich, you know?
It's a paycheck.
Yeah. It's the dregs of the London streets that have no other way out than to join the army.
I guess I'll do this, and when me time is up, I'll be able to
These
get
are
a wife.
killers. These are mercenaries.
Yes. Which is why, but it's still just a little confusing.
Which is every army that has ever existed before it.
Sure.
And now America comes along and says, "Here's nationalism. You have stake in this fight.
Yeah.
So join up, and you'll get something out of it to better society."
There's idealism.
Right.
Sure, but to take a 12-year-old kid whose father is saying no, to me, just doesn't fit the scheme of how this even formed.
You are far too naive to think.
Yeah, you're looking at it from 2023
I
glasses.
guess, sure.
Think about like impressment was happening, where
Well, it's
they
not
just
like the
kidnap
kid, like,
people and have
it's
them
not
join.
like the kid just like went off and then the father came
The
to
kid
camp.
went, signed his name, got
Yeah.
his 5
It
pence.
was in like a 2-minute time frame. The father was like, here's the 5 pence back. I'm taking my son
You're
home.
in the army now, kid.
I guess.
You're subject to military
You're with
discipline.
Pauly
Are you
Shore.
a deserter? Are you going off with Al Pacino? Now you're a deserter. Now you're going to get
Sure.
shot. You know,
Look, you signed. You're in the army now. You're with Pauly Shore,
Pauly Shore.
Andy Dick.
you're going to Chad.
Yep.
I feel like this was a nom thing. This was like the forced recruitment thing, like brought up.
Drafting.
Yeah, 100%. That's what this was.
And look, it's clearly a non-parallel when he's like, I don't want my son.
I don't want my
go."
son to go. Too bad he signed up.
It's
that's
a parallel, but I definitely totally believe that happened.
Sure.
They did kind of do that scene in The Patriot, remember? I'm not a child. You're my child.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
Well, this is the reverse Patriot, which I said
Yeah.
before. It's like the Patriot is about, through his sons, he finds idealism and, he's not a killer. This is like his son goes, it forces him to go, and they
And then
change.
he's just kind of there.
Yeah, exactly. There's no idealism. He's never an idealist.
No.
Not even at the end.
Well,
No.
to start, he joins up to save his son. That's
Yeah.
like what it is.
Well, the character, we find out his whole family is dead through some sort of disease,
I guess,
pneumonia or
yeah.
something. Like he's lost 3 children and his wife, and
Yeah.
all he has left is this kid, Ned.
Ned.
So right away, they don't even get to go home.
Nope.
They're sent to Brooklyn.
yes.
Yep.
And we see a nice scene with Daisy wanting to join the revolution.
Oh, yeah.
And the sisters
You're gonna get yourself raped.
serves you right if you get yourself raped.
Yes.
I was
I wrote
like,
that
wow,
down. I was like, whoa, that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's a line straight out of Mel Gibson's mouth, except less race-based.
Then we get the Battle of Long Island or the Battle of Brooklyn Heights,
Yes.
whatever you want to
You
call
don't
it.
really
Yeah.
see the battle though. You just see the surgery.
You see
right?
the aftermath, right?
Yeah. You just
Well,
see the
there's that
aftermath.
one like attack with Donald
Yeah.
Sutherland.
You do see a little
Yeah.
of that.
later, not now.
No, it's now, right?
No.
No, there's a little killing, and you kind of see after, like Al Pacino is laying in like weed.
That's
Oh,
this.
right,
Yeah,
right.
you don't
right.
see any battle
Yeah, we
now.
don't see it. So
You see-
I'll-
You just know they got their ass kicked.
I'll just tell you what happened.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, like I said, in August, I think it's the 29th. I might have the date wrong on that, but it's in August. The British will cross from Staten Island into Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Heights.
No.
That's this movie.
No, Brooklyn Heights is where the battle is, but they don't cross into Brooklyn Heights. They land kind of like right where the Verrazano Bridge is now.
Okay. Fort Wadsworth area.
Yeah. And they will, the battle, this is actually the largest battle of the war
Really?
as far as number of men involved in it.
Okay.
Washington has set up his army at the Brooklyn Heights, which is a big-ass hill that overlooks Manhattan. So anyone who controls the heights can put artillery on it
And fire
and
down.
shell New York City. It is crucial that they control this. Now, I'm of the opinion that no general in the history of the world, that includes Napoleon Bonaparte, could have won this battle without a navy. The British already won before it even
began.
Yeah. I don't think Washington should have defended New York.
Do you think he should just let it go?
Yes, and he actually wanted to. He wanted to leave, but Congress down in Philadelphia was like, we can't just give up New York City. You have to defend it. So he made a show of it. And this is a massive defeat for the American
Get our
army.
dicks kicked in.
Yeah.
Look, Washington actually has a losing record if you do the math.
Right. But he's where he needs credit. He is he's like the most inspirational, greatest leader ever.
He's a master
men love
escape
him.
artist.
That's what I was going to say. He's like the best retreater of all time. He keeps the army together, which is what's important. That's how you win this war.
Yeah.
You don't need to capture cities and things. You just have to stay in the field long enough until the British get tired.
Bleed them out.
Yes.
They only have so many soldiers they can bring.
I actually saw something online the other day. Someone did like some analysis of like most military victories, and they said what causes most people to win wars are basically just outlasting the enemy. Yeah.
Modern wars, anyway. You used to have actual conquest.
Yeah,
back in
that's
the day.
true.
But what happens here in Brooklyn? Like I said, Washington's up on this hill, and the British have the Hessians assault it several times.
It's on.
You good?
Yeah, I was just checking.
Yeah. The British have a Hessian force, that's the German mercenaries, assault this hill several times from the south. Meanwhile, the main army, General Howe, who's leading it, had actually spent some time in New York City.
How are you doing?
Yeah. He spent some time in New York City as a kid, so he knew the area, and he knew there was this back road through Jamaica, Queens. So he led...
It's already Jamaica, Queens?
It's Jamaica. It's the Jamaica Pass.
Okay.
He leads the army overnight around the Americans until they come up behind them. So they are fucked. And there's this amazing last stand kind of where the Americans allow the guys on the hill kind of hold the line while the rest of the army flees.
So they basically give their lives almost so everyone else can get away.
Right. And there's the legend of the 400 Maryland, right? So there's guys from Maryland, there's 400 of them. They would hold back the British tide while the army runs through the Gowanus marshes. And that's where we pick up Al Pacino, because he says he was running through the marshland, which I thought was a nice touch to historical accuracy.
If you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was with the Maryland 400.
The retreating guys, yeah.
We all retreated. We all ran.
Yeah. The army falls apart.
Yeah.
And what happens is, instead of crushing Washington's army right then and there, night falls, and the British decide they'll do it in the morning, just to, do it in daylight.
Yeah.
Fog rolls in, and Washington is saved by God, as he
Will be.
several times.
Yeah.
And under the cover of the fog is able to evacuate the entire American army into Manhattan.
Better be lucky than good.
Yeah. Our nation is built upon unstable climate. So, as you said, we find him after he retreated.
Yeah, in like this field with like poppy
Yeah.
flowers.
Daisy
Not
finds
poppies.
him.
He's laying there and they're all
Sunflowers.
fucked up.
Did you fight? Yeah. The kid goes, "It was my first battle."
Yeah.
Oh, you two are so brave, and she hugs him.
She's like in love with Alan
She
immediately.
looked at him and they fell in love earlier.
Yes.
When they taken this
Took
boat.
the boat, and she was laughing at them and was like, "Oh, I'm interested in this." And I guess she recognized them later on. It was like, "Oh, you two are so brave." And it's like, "Oh, look, a story's about to develop," and it never continues from there.
Right.
It's always just we see each other
And we love
we
each
are
other.
in
We
love.
love each other.
Yes. We are madly in love.
It is the worst written thing.
She's
I've ever seen.
like, there is a man who is clearly twice my age. I have fallen for this man. Now I've run into him again in this poppy field.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
poppies again. And I love him even more. Let me caress him and jump on top of him.
Yeah, I was like, is she just going to start kissing him?
was
It was
very
really
confusing.
weird.
Right.
And then
Can we
And then
talk,
they don't see each other again for years, but they're still in love.
Can we talk about modern Al Pacino real quick?
modern.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can. Sure.
Dude, he's like 83. He's
having a kid.
He's still swinging it.
Will he see his kid? How many years of his kid's life will he make it through?
14.
I say 5.
14.
14?
Yeah.
I don't want to vote on the death of Al Pacino, so I'm gonna say
Clearly, you've never done death pools before, but I say this because
I don't want it to happen.
a successful man, he's got some wealth, he's probably got good doctors. I think he'll live long into his 90s.
He's
I think
83.
that's a safe bet. Okay. 97.
he could drop any day now.
Yeah.
He could.
97, he'll, 98, he can go over 100.
Congratulations to the happy parents, Mr. and
I
Mrs.
guess.
Pacino.
Yeah.
Do you think he saw De Niro got his girl pregnant? And he's
De
like,
Niro did too?
De Niro did like 3 weeks
What is
ago.
with these guys? Why do they gotta be like the same guy?
Isn't it insane?
It's a little weird. I didn't know that.
How old is his wife?
Younger too.
Clearly.
Yeah. They're both too old for DiCaprio though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
That's the way they go. I can't imagine being in those shoes.
What,
like,
as
you
a,
know
as a
what-
kid? A kid of a...
No, me being Al Pacino
Oh.
or De Niro, it's like, yeah, my wife is 25, 30, and I'm 92.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I know,
Look,
but
look.
you know what it's
Look,
about.
let's
right?
be
Like,
real.
you have
He
to-
doesn't care about his wife. He doesn't
Yeah.
care about the kid.
He
can't.
just wants to fuck.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Look, if I was 90 and my wife was dead and I could get with a hot 20-year-old, yeah, I would fucking do it. Even if I look like the Crypt Keeper.
I gotta keep my progeny going. I got a legacy to worry about. Can't be thinking about the revolution. Gotta think about my kid.
Why didn't we get a wig for him? That was a horrible mistake on our part.
A mullet wig.
Gotta get my wig and my lifts and my shoes till I'm too short.
Playing the revolution.
I'm an American.
Daisy, way to get married.
Where's that 20-year-old that's been following us around every couple of years we bump into her? I'm gonna make it start alive out here in the wilderness.
It's like soldiers. That's me. So this also confused the hell out of me too. They're about to march. The captains on the horses come over and are whipping the soldiers
Yes.
to get in line.
Yeah.
These aren't slaves.
Beaver doesn't realize what the military is like.
Yeah.
Because he's used to watching The Patriot where everyone's nice.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's a brutal time.
Yeah.
This is not uncommon.
Sure. Yeah. But he didn't do anything. Like, I get if he did something wrong. But just to like
They're out of line.
They gotta get the fuck out of there.
But well, like that's like, hey, get up. If you don't get up, sure, a whip. They didn't even tell him to get up. They rode by and it's like it's time to go and just hit him.
They need discipline.
He wasn't doing anything to
But
be
this is the
disciplined.
big. But again, this is the big problem with the American army, right? They're not real soldiers. They kind of just do whatever the fuck they want. They're militiamen.
That's why we won.
No, it's not. It's not until Valley Forge and they whip them into shape and they become a real army. This is why they got their asses kicked in New York.
That's another thing I like about the movie.
Yeah.
It never looks good for the Americans, like, because look, for most of the war,
their ass kicked,
yeah.
we weren't doing good
Until they win.
until they win.
Till the
And
Swamp
that's
Fox.
what the movie is like, you know?
Swamp Fox came along.
The Swamp Fox, yeah.
Yeah, the ghost. Benjamin Martin.
I'll tell you the size of his boot.
Look, this movie takes place up north, down south.
Different story.
Yeah. Tavington is burning people in churches. Mel Gibson is going on
Heroic.
blood-fueled rampages.
So
What happens next? Because
Daisy goes to her father. Or is it Daisy or someone else? I forget.
So this is the
This is
worst scene in the
confusing.
movie. I was
party.
hysterical laughing.
party's
no.
horrendous.
Before the party,
No.
there's a scene where she
Barrels.
goes to her father.
50 barrels
Oh,
of
yeah.
salted fish.
And he's talking like an Italian New Yorker from
Yeah, what-
1980.
with the German guy.
this
Yes.
movie thinks New York
Is New
like
York.
Brooklyn from the 70s was eternal.
Yes.
It wants to be a movie from the 70s. I'm telling you.
The guy in the scene is literally talking.
He's talking like this.
So does Al.
But this guy is legit like laying on the action,
Daisy,
like,
where you
hey,
going?"
yo, this fucking chooch over here.
Daisy, where
I'm
you going?
selling pigs to both sides.
Hey, Hickory dickory dock. The British can
ain't
suck
gonna
on my
win.
cock. Oh.
Continentals, they ain't gonna win. We'll take the right side. Hey guys, that's legit. It's like, wait, what?
Good thinking, boss. We're gonna make a killing.
We might gotta raise the prices a little, but hey, it's fair game. It's like, what the fuck is happening in this? What? Who? And to that critic's point, like, what director? It just seems like go in there and do what you want.
That scene was really. I was watching it audibly laughing. I was like, I can't believe this is real.
And it's like he's supposed to be evil, but he's just trying to like
He's a
secure
war
his
profiteer,
livelihood.
yeah.
Like, can you give him something? Give him 50 barrels of salted fish. She leaves. Give him
10 barrels.
Give him 10 barrels. Right. It's like, oh, what a mean guy.
I mean, he has to do
for not supporting.
He has to do
militia.
business in occupied New York City.
Yeah, like
it's gonna be occupied for the rest of the war. By the way,
Yeah.
they never liberate.
No.
he's not a villain. Like at all.
Well, I mean, he did promise something and then immediately changed
Well,
it
to
but-
his stupid daughter.
Yeah, well, she's a zealot.
Yeah.
But this party that she goes to, where her mother offers her daughters up.
Well,
You're going too far.
just
You're going
before
too
that,
far.
before
You're
that,
going
before
way
that.
too far.
All right. So Pacino.
The battle scene.
Yeah, Pacino is with his kid during a battle, and the Brits are kicking tons of ass.
Worst music ever.
I didn't notice the music in
It
this scene.
ruined the scene.
What was it like?
It was like slow Vietnam War music.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah.
like Platoon.
Yes,
Okay.
but it's like Revolutionary War, and you hear over that music, you hear like the.
Oh, no.
And then you hear like the somber like orchestra.
Just
it's
speaking on the
just
music,
confusing.
the movie ends with like a very long song,
Yes.
and that really didn't work either.
Dude,
Yeah, nothing works in this.
the whole thing.
This is a mess.
It was
Yeah.
a shit show.
So wait, so the kid, so like the American flag falls and the kid grabs it up, Al Pacino's
Right. This
kid.
is when we see Donald Sutherland.
And now
And
there's
I like this.
Wait, there's British pikers and they're like
Yeah, pikemen.
They still have that?
Yeah, sure.
This-
It's anti-cavalry weapon.
This
Okay,
also
that makes
confused
sense.
me too. This scene, and I get why it's like it's nitpicking for history purposes. But I guess I'm curious about your guys' opinions. They shoot there's 3 lines of British soldiers, and they shoot line, don't reload, march forward. Wouldn't the British have reloaded until the Americans started retreating?
The Americans are already kind of running.
Well, they're backing up, but they're not retreating. They're still firing back. It confused me. I didn't think that would happen.
Maybe
They walk forward like Terminators.
Maybe in certain circumstances, but the
British are Terminators. They don't have feelings.
the British Army at that point in time was actually most famous for being the best in the world at bayonet charges.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of just setting up to do a
charge.
bayonet charge.
Okay, that makes sense.
I liked this whole thing. I thought it was good.
Do you think this was a wasted moment in cinema when he picks up the flag? Do you think he should have died with the flag? I thought that.
What, and just lose the kid right
It-
there?
yeah,
Then-
it would have made such a better story.
I thought the kid was going to die.
Then
Me
it would have been the Patriot. Then it would have
Yes.
been Al Pacino was galvanized by the
Yeah,
death
I
of his
wanted
son.
that.
I thought that was going to happen.
Me too.
I was like, oh, this is where the story takes place. Instead, the story never takes place. Things just kind of happen that are disconnected.
My note was, why didn't he get shot and make a
It's-
monster of Pacino?
It's almost like a series of vignettes.
Yeah,
Like American Revolution vignettes.
Right.
And I get what they wanted to do. They wanted to do like the Spielberg War of the Worlds thing where it's one person's view of the big event. But like
it jumps around too much. It doesn't pay attention to what time it's supposed to be because here was the first like real big problem I had with it because at this point I'm still giving it the benefit of the doubt and being like, all right, it's gonna go somewhere.
Something will happen, yeah.
But it just jumps through time. Like it goes 5 months later, and we know exactly what time and year it was when that we were just looking at. They said it's July 4th. We just saw the Battle of New York, which is in August. So 5 months later, it should be December,
Middle of winter.
but it's not.
It's
No.
It's springtime. He's out in the fucking jungle at one point. Like the trees are green.
jungle. He's in Scandinavia at one point. He's
And-
in the fjords.
Like they go north, and like anybody who knows anything about the American Revolution, north of New York, you're now in like
slightly
there's
hilly.
battles happening up there. We're like in Ticonderoga and Saratoga
Yep.
and they
All those
the
forts.
Adirondacks. All this shit's going on up there.
Catskills.
He like went up into a war zone. But it's like the wilderness, and there's a couple Indians chasing him,
Yeah.
right? But we didn't get there yet. We'll get to that.
And in the Catskills, you got a bunch of Polish Jewish comedians doing
Right.
bad stand-up.
So, but just to my point, it warped 5 months of future, and it's the springtime when it shouldn't be. It should be the
Pacino
dead, should be
deserted
the
with
dead
his
of
kid.
winter,
Yeah.
and then it warps again 6 months after that,
And it's the same.
dead of winter. So it's like, what are you guys doing? Anyone paying attention is going to be like, what year is it?
Well, I have a really curious take on this later on. So the militia flees that field that we were talking about. Pacino flees back to New York, and this is when I realized the cinematography is bad. Because they're facing the woods and it's completely dark. It's like a dark movie, like you said, but then it pans and it's like you said, springtime, and it's like brighter. They didn't set the lengths, I get the focal length, how to take in the light in the camera. Like they didn't change it as they were moving the camera, so it's just like completely pitch black, and then it auto focuses to be like the correct color almost. It's very strange.
I don't know the shot you're talking about, so you got to show me.
You'll see it, and it's
on the
just,
screen right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Yeah.
not good. And then they see Daisy again.
And she's mad they deserted.
She's mad they're not
weeping.
dead. Yeah.
Yes.
She's weeping.
But she still loves him because she looked at him.
Yes. To be fair, Al Pacino in this is a really good-looking guy.
He's got fantastic
He's
hair.
a middle-aged man.
You don't think he's a good-looking guy?
He's Al.
this?
It's
No.
Michael Corleone.
Michael Corleone's a good-looking guy.
He has a fantastic head of hair, and that's about it.
Attica.
At this point, my note said, "Who is this woman? How is this?
Why is she
what
so-
And I'm waiting for they're gonna bring up a connection where maybe they were past lovers or something.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They just run
It's
into
just-
each other.
That's
and they're in love.
All right.
Yeah.
So after she's mad they ran, the
Now
next
the
scene
party.
is the uptight finishing school, where they're all getting their makeup done and stuff.
Well, their mother is going to have a party where she invites British officers over
Lords.
the house.
Yeah, the two lords.
And just has her daughters get fucked by them
Yeah.
while
Yes.
she watches.
Yeah.
And
They get
like,
big powdered wigs.
what
that are
fucking planet does this take place on? Because this is not happening.
it's not 18th century America.
It's the 1700s. Okay, Mom isn't doing this. I get that she wants to marry them off to British
Yes.
officers. That's completely
not like
acceptable.
have a fuck party.
Things like that happened. They suitors. It's very rich. Everything's ritualized. They dance. There's a ballroom. No, this is a den of vice.
The old key party.
Right. And
Let's pull some
Mom
names from the
sits
hat and see who's fucking who.
Mom's sitting there
Mom
like,
sits there with a giant wig with ships on it.
Dude, what's up with the wigs?
It's the French style. Yeah. I didn't have a problem with that because they did that in France.
they have towers. They have buildings
yeah.
in their hair.
And ships.
It's
Insane, ridiculous wigs, and Mom watches as a man rubs her daughter's like pussy down
Yes.
in front of him.
She's like, if
She's
you don't
like,
blow
yeah.
up, I will. We need security. Mind you, they're from a successful family.
Right.
There's no reason to whore out
They're
your
just
daughter.
trying to get on the right side of the war.
Right.
They already are.
And then Daisy's, her name's Daisy.
Daisy.
Right? Yeah. Daisy's there.
Daisy cutters.
She acts like a harlot.
Her wig has American ships on the top, and she pulls out an American flag.
How did they even
pin.
let that into the party?
Fuck. I don't know.
Just
what's
for
happening.
fun?
Yeah.
Shits and giggles.
It's got a knife in it,
Yes.
and she stabs this man in the dick.
in the dick.
Yes.
No consequence.
I love this. This is my favorite shot in the whole movie. There's like a lecherous British guy, and,
Yeah.
and he looks down at the cleavage, and the camera just pans down to the tits and stays there for like a second or two, and then it comes back up. I was like, I've never seen a movie just be like, hey,
Egregious.
I really want like the audience to acknowledge these tits.
Look at this rack.
Look.
But yeah, the lecherous British man gets stabbed in the dick. That he jumps up and
takes
he's
it-
like, "You fucking Yankee whore!"
He takes it so well.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't hit her.
His dick has been pierced.
Stab.
I thought it was just the leg.
No, it's his dick.
No, he's right,
holding
because
his
he's
dick.
holding it. And
Yeah.
the only thing that happens is he verbally insults her.
Right.
At that point, I'm like, oh, great. Something cool is going to happen. Maybe she's going to get put up on charges and Pacino has to
Right.
help
This
her.
is assaulting one of the king's officers.
lord.
Yeah.
Nothing.
She just has to.
Another.
My mom kicks her out of the house.
Well, maybe it was just a misunderstanding because this was a sex party. Maybe she thought he was into like
this was
Rush.
maybe,
you think this whole thing was on the down low?
Yeah.
And maybe that makes a lot more sense.
This is when she gets disowned.
Yeah.
And this, my next note. This movie stinks.
And then we got
5
Al.
months later.
5 months later.
Spring.
Al is working in a rope factory.
Yeah.
And he's making rope. And his son is running around with some hooligans,
gang.
some like Artful Dodger style fucking.
No, what's happening?
Like, what is that?
And there's somebody getting tortured with the rifle. He's like running in place.
Yes.
And he's hitting him in
Yeah,
the
and there's no
stomach.
context to that. We don't know what that is.
Well,
we
they
find
pay-
out later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. At least
Right,
they
yeah,
pay it off.
right.
It's very
But it just looked like they were just poking
Okay,
the guy.
guy, you jog in place, fatty.
butt of a rifle. They're hitting him in the stomach, and he's jogging. And now they ask Pacino to run in place. And it turns out they're going
Right.
to take a dummy and run it around a field.
They're gonna use him as a fox hunt.
While
as the
being
fox
hunted.
in the fox hunt. And his son is like stolen a grenade or something.
Well, yeah, and they're gonna
Yeah, they're
blow
gonna
up like a
bomb
food
something.
supply
Yeah.
and steal it. But
No, you're not gonna do that.
his son,
you to do that.
That's how he's acting.
Yeah.
his son is disgusted
Yeah, that he's not
that,
fighting.
that he's not fighting and he's like jogging in place for the.
it's not our war.
Yeah.
Look, we're just here.
Other
to make
people
the
gonna
rope.
fight the war. We ain't gonna do that. We're gonna work in this rope factory.
This is when I decided the British are
I
Nazis.
provide food for you.
And you don't think the British are Nazi-like at this moment?
I suppose.
They have a human run around
They're
and get
an
chased by rabid dogs.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
They're an occupying army who think poorly of the common man.
They're working in a rope factory. It's
Right.
not slave labor. What's happening here?
It's like conscription.
No, it's not. He's getting
This
paid.
is a great honor.
They're getting paid. He literally says he's getting paid.
I think Steve has a point in that the kind of war aims of the English at this time were like kind of doing carrot and stick stuff while at the same time kicking ass. Like they want to win the hearts and minds of the locals. So humiliating them by making them human foxes probably not a
And
good
getting
way to go
killed by
about
a
doing
pack of
that.
Do you think
Yeah.
something like that ever happened?
No, I don't. But I don't think anyone got burned alive in a church either. So
That's
I'm not gonna, and I love that movie. So I'm
Which
not
is
gonna
more?
get that mad
This is
at.
more ridiculous, right? Burning alive in the church, I think, is more likely than hey, let's get two guys
From the
to
rope
be human
factory.
foxes.
Let's get two of our workers who are healthy workers to run in a field.
So real
Yes,
quick,
we'd like to make some sport of it.
oh, the guy's voice is so cartoonish, right?
It's the dick stab.
It
guy.
is.
Yeah.
His voice though is so
voice.
next level.
His voice is so embarrassingly bad. It's like on purposely trying to be like, oh, I'm sniveling.
Yes.
And it's like, no, nobody's voice is like that.
Rather.
Let's go hunting the foxes.
Do you know who the fat guy is?
No.
Which fact?
I think it might be Valentin Sarkovsky from.
He's in this. I saw him.
I saw he's in it. Who is he? I saw he's on IMDb.
He's
Which character is he?
I definitely saw him in the movie, and I wanted to tell you about it, and I took note of it in my head and forgot.
I saw his name on IMDb.
It's not him, though.
Oh, okay.
No, he's like.
It says Burgermeister.
He has a very small part. I think he's like one of the British officers in the background at one scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish I knew like
Yeah.
where he was because I saw him pop up on IMDb. I was like,
Who doesn't love Valentine?
"That's fucking awesome." He saves Bond.
When does he save Bond?
The world is not enough.
Oh,
Remember, he shoots the fucking
Yes.
the choke thing.
right, with the helicopter.
Yeah.
So, you got your scent on you. Got to get it off, and they.
The scent.
The
It's
scent.
like the
The
scent
scent
of
on
a
you.
woman.
Gotta get in the water. Get it off you.
So
I wish I smelled like a Dunkachino right now.
dunk.
What's my name? Dunkachino.
So the dogs rip apart this man.
Yeah, the fat guy gets.
While the officers have a fun laugh.
They're like, oh.
Yeah.
But they catch up to Pacino, and they're so impressed, instead of hurting him, they let him go.
Is that what happens?
Yeah. They go, let's cut him loose, and they just slice his rope off.
They kill Washington.
They kill Washington.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
right.
Washington
Dog.
effigy.
Yes. Yeah.
And wait, they say America doesn't have foxes?
Yeah.
Which I was like, we have foxes, right?
All over. We
They're
have them
all-
on Staten Island.
Yeah, I've seen a fox like on the road in Staten Island.
I
Yeah.
suppose it is possible
They brought them here?
that
No.
They may have been hunted to a point where they were very scarce
Okay.
Sure.
at the time. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
But isn't that a weird line?
They've certainly bounced back, if that is the case. Like, they're everywhere now.
Yeah.
My wife hit one with her car.
Oh, no. When?
Oh, years ago.
Oh,
But
okay.
she brings it up all the time.
The other day I was driving and these birds came in front of my car and I tried to slow down and they didn't get out of the way and I crushed them. I felt so bad. I thought we had a deal.
Yeah, right.
I thought there was a deal between us and squirrels and birds that they get out of the way when a car comes.
It's kind of on a similar note. One time, somebody told me I had a big head,
Yes.
and I was walking in the street, and a bird flew into my head.
Didn't you stab that guy with a fork?
Yeah.
I hit a deer on Christmas once.
Yeah.
That's a real story. That wasn't from any. I
What
legit-
sitcom are you referencing? Is that like Who's the Boss?
It sucked. Jumped on my car Christmas Day.
I actually remember that.
Yeah.
It jumped on your car.
I swear to God, yeah.
Maybe it fell from the sky.
Maybe it was a reindeer, yeah.
No, it jumped over. Tried jumping over, it failed. So now they
Now he's
some
out of the
people.
city.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
out of the city.
They've taken his son by this point.
And
Yes,
now
the
they're-
British
yeah.
have taken his son. They're like, oh, because he goes to visit his friend who's arrested,
Yes.
and they're drumming together.
Yeah, they're in a dungeon or like slave pen.
Yeah.
There's something.
They're in like a prison.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, a lot of the guys captured at New York at the battle ended up on prison ships. I don't know much. I'm sure there were some that had prisons on the island of Manhattan, but they purposely set up prison ships in New York Harbor. The Jersey being the most notorious.
Really?
Yeah, where they would be there for years, like some of the worst.
Just stuck on a
conditions.
boat.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to get too mad about there being a prison, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, you know.
But the fact that he can just go in and out,
he sneaks in, yeah.
yeah,
They
But
get
he's-
caught.
drum.
He drums with his buddy, and they're
Right.
like, oh, you have drumming skills.
Yeah.
You're gonna go drum for us.
And apparently,
Daisy Caesar.
Donald Sutherland is big into drumming.
Yeah.
Well,
They
you
go
need
drummer's
them.
luck.
They put him on a cart. Daisy is strife with emotion seeing this kid get put on a cart
Yeah, who she's seen twice.
twice. Doesn't,
Well, she
doesn't even know their
she
names.
loves Al Pacino. Let me ask
They
you a
said
question.
their names to each
They
other.
do. I was going to say, can you name Al Pacino's character?
His name
in
is
this?
Tom.
Can you name his last name?
It starts with a D.
No.
I only know it because I watched with the subtitles. It starts with a D.
Tom Dunn.
Done.
Yeah.
Daisy's last name was like somewhere in an
McConaughey.
McConaughey, yeah.
All right.
right. And now they're
That's
in
my
a Pennsylvania
great-grandmother.
steel company or factory. It could be Mount Doom because it's just fucking red fire everywhere. Apparently, I don't know why. It makes. You guys like the cinematography?
What part?
This next scene, Daisy tells Tom they took your son, and wherever he's laying
He's laying in the rope factory.
is the rope factory like full of fire.
Yeah. You got to burn the ropes and stuff.
It's like I'm not.
Ryan's an
kidding.
expert rope man.
It's like it
You
looks
do.
like
You
they're
burn
in-
the rope. That's how you cut rope.
Oh yeah.
It can't
Yeah.
look like Mount Doom. There's no lava.
There's forges and stuff.
There was lava.
Dude, it's that
I
red.
don't remember
it's that
lava.
red. I don't even know if we watched the same film.
Obi-Wan and Vader went by in Beaver
That's
version.
what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
You have
no.
done that to yourself.
This is when Alex, my wife, walks into the room and is like, Tom, they took your son. Oh, Tom. Oh, Tom. She started saying that line because it was so bad. It was so bad. Tom, they took your son. Thomas, where are you going?
Isn't
I need
it
a boat?
Isn't it horrible when you're watching something shit and someone comes in and looks at you?
Do you remember when we were watching Euro Trip?
I think of that all the time.
Yeah.
I've come back around and I like the movie
Same.
again.
So, Euro Trip, right? Me and Brian always liked it. And our friend would always say that we're stupid for liking it.
Yes.
It's like a terrible movie.
Yeah.
And one day we're like, no, fuck him. We're watching Euro Trip. So we're watching Euro Trip.
It was terrible.
And my dad comes in the room at the scene with the robot,
Yes.
which is the worst scene in the movie. It's horrendous, where he gets kicked in his robot balls. and it's very embarrassing. And my dad just kind of looked at us.
He goes, "What the fuck are you
Yeah.
guys watching?
like, you guys like this?
You're fucking idiots."
And it made me hate Eurotrip for like.
I didn't like it for a long time, and then a couple of years ago, like maybe a year or two ago, I saw it on TV and I watched it. I was like, "It's fun."
It's not for adults, but
Right.
you know, it's for teenagers.
Scotty doesn't know.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
All right.
Damon.
So now Al Pacino is like, I gotta go to my kid. He's gonna steal a boat.
I need a boat. You don't have a weapon, Tom. Tom. And like instead of being like, I'll go with you, he gets on the boat and she's just like, goodbye, Tom.
Yes.
And that's it.
And now he goes away, and we cut to the camp, and kids are being whipped.
Yeah, they use colonial children as slaves or something.
They're drilling them to be drum guys.
Yeah.
And that's how you give orders on the battlefield. These
Yeah,
are
no,
important
that's
guys.
drummers are important, but like,
So let's give it to the 11-years.
not only that, but they're colonial 11-year-olds. Like,
Yeah.
or like, why would you?
They're children that they've been impressed, and they're gonna fucking do what they're told.
Okay.
It's just a matter of beating discipline into them. Oh, someone's alarm is going off. I'm gonna hit stop on this. It's not mine. I don't know whose it is.
I think I might be getting him.
I get.
Take my antibiotic.
Oh,
Okay.
get him needs his antibiotic.
Medication, yeah. The officer wants his boots shined by a young boy.
Right.
So this is rape, right?
Yes.
Like,
Is it? I didn't.
The kids
Absolutely.
were brought there to be
Absolutely.
raped. Yeah.
So you think Sutherland's a rapist?
No, I think
No,
he
the other
works
guy.
for a rapist.
He works for
Oh,
his-
that guy.
Yeah, he's the fat guy.
Okay.
He was gonna the officer, the general, or whoever
knew
he
what was
is,
going on, yeah.
wanted a boy to have his mouth fucked.
So the way I read this was the whole point of them getting taken from that camp was to get raped by that guy.
I don't think it's the whole point, but I think it's a bonus for the general. This piece of shit.
I think it makes it's-
Which general is that in the British Army?
Right? Yeah.
Who is that supposed to be? Which like historical figure are they slandering like this?
So they choose Ned.
Clinton.
And
Fits.
he bites the officer's finger. Like he goes to he bites him, and then they make him get his feet whipped.
They whip his feet. They strap him to a cannon for being,
Insane.
They glory him.
Not wanting to get raped.
Yes, and they whip his feet to the point where he cannot walk. And that's when Al gets into the camp.
He
How does
sneaks
he
in.
get into the fucking camp?
Because I'm a stealthy guy.
What is
I got my Rambo headband.
not only gets the
Got
camp,
my wig.
he found his son who is now tied to a cannon like Jesus Christ.
Hey, Ned, how'd you get up there? I'm going to cut you down. Get you out of here. Trust me.
It's so fucking bonkers.
And then he carries him deep into the springtime wilderness.
Yes.
It looks like the jungles of Vietnam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's he's in the jungle now. But it's
they also-
this is upstate New York.
They also take his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The kid's
the
friend.
drummer kid.
And we get a
Merle,
weird
I
line.
think his name is.
Sutherland's son was on watch.
It's not his son. It's like a kid
No,
he's
he says
taken
it.
a liking to.
He goes, where'd they go, son?
Yeah, I thought it was his
no.
son.
I think it's a kid he took a liking to. I don't think it's his son.
Oh, he just
Based on the end of the movie, I
it's
thought it was his son.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Literally dying in his arms,
Because
he
the
says,
kid,
"Face,
the
be
kid's
brave,
like, I
son."
thought you liked him more than me. It's like a drummer kid, you know. He I'm guessing
Oh,
Donald
that
Sutherland.
makes sense
Donald
now.
Sutherland was a drummer boy as a boy. This is what I inferred, and he kind of looks after these kids and he likes them and they respect him and they love him.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I think I was like, why would the son say something like that? That's confusing.
Right.
Okay. That cleared
I
that
thought
up.
he just had like.
You had the same
issues.
thought as me?
Yeah, I thought it
Yeah.
was his actual son.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And now the movie turns into The Last of the Mohicans.
Yes.
For 30 seconds, it does. Yes, Graham Greene shows up.
More than 30 seconds, man.
like Al goes back to his boat.
Well, Donald Sutherland sicks the Iroquois on Al Pacino.
Yeah.
I thought they're Iroquois? I thought they were Mohawk.
No,
No.
yeah, who are Iroquois? They're part of the Iroquois Confederacy. Yeah, they might be Mohawk.
They said Mohawk, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then when the Huron kill the two Indians, they go, "We hate the Iroquois."
Yeah. You're
They
right,
were
you're
with
right,
the
you're
French.
Yeah, yeah.
Who-
Well, Huron.
Oh no,
were the-
no, that we're with
Yeah.
the French.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Right.
hate the English.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Mohawk are one of the 6 nations.
And I think they walk up a waterfall. It looks like the one from Last of the Mohicans.
It looks like the same like
It's the
set.
same waterfall.
Might be.
And then they show fjords. They show like a giant mountain range.
They're in the Lakelands.
The
They're-
Catskills.
Yeah, it's like Lake
I don't think
George.
the mountains are
It's
that big.
No, there's mountains there.
Into the sky?
Sure.
Like, Really?
Well, they haven't been blown up
It's the
yet, you know?
Adirondacks.
Yeah.
Get blown up. What? They blow up mountains?
Yeah, they blow up mountains to make tunnels and roads through them.
Brian, I don't think...
100%.
Is he doing a joke?
I don't know.
Or does
Wait.
he not know how mountains work?
I know how mountains work. Do you guys not know, like, the roads we go through? Like, when you're going up, like, upstate New York, they use dynamite to blow up...
Yeah, they don't blow up a mountain.
Not the whole mountain, obviously. Yes. No.
They carve a path for a road.
Yes. I'm not saying they...
But you said that.
I didn't mean, like, we got to make this mountain flat.
Call out the B-52s. They got to drop heavy ordnance on this whole range.
This is fucking atom bomb. How much dynamite did they have? I don't think they had enough gunpowder to shoot the guns.
I declare war on mountains. We need nothing but flat land.
Yeah, Brian sees a hill. That's gotta go.
All like
I hate
all
inclines.
building projects are run by Mongol horse archers. If they see anything with an incline, they're just horrified by it. This has to go.
You can just go around the mountain while you're blowing shit up. So the Huron have to cauterize his son's feet, which is...
Tell me what you remember about your mom.
This scene.
This is a chance for Al Pacino to do some acting.
Yeah.
I thought his acting was good in
This
this
is
scene.
my Oscar scene.
Oh my God, I made the same joke.
I thought he was good in this scene. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's fine.
Do you know what I think happened? And I swear I think this is what happened in the scene. The kid was supposed to die,
Yes.
but Pacino was so violently shaking him that he woke up like, ah! like I can't. And then when
It's
he woke
clearly
up,
a death scene, right?
Pacino starts
Yeah.
rubbing his head like, I got to come up with something now. I got to act because I ruined the scene. And that's the take they went with. Because, like, he should have been dead. It would have been a great time to kill the king.
You're not a coward, Dad. I was wrong. You're not a coward.
And you're like, oh, wow, this is emotional. And then it's like, he made it. He pulled through. And it says 6 months later,
It took him 6 months to heal.
and now Ned's 18. He was...
Well, so now he's a new actor.
He was 14.
Yeah.
He was 14 6 months ago, which now this convinced me may have been a time travel movie.
now
'cause
we're in Valley Forge.
There's
It's
people
Valley
from
Forge.
Brooklyn, like Brooklyn 70s people. This kid's time traveling.
Valley Forge looks great.
It's cool looking.
Yeah, it looks like it should.
Oh, yeah.
Just close your eyes and imagine the soldiers at Valley Forge.
The suffering he endured was real. Starvation, total war,
Daisy crying.
Do you think they look on us now with hatred?
anger, and disgust.
Yeah.
His providence, our birthright, and our creed. No one
Nope.
knows what the fuck we're doing.
No, there might be like 2 or 3.
One guy's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, there's some metal.
Up the eyes, baby.
I got salt. You got salt. Those are
That's-
actual lines in the movie.
Yeah.
I got salt. You got salt. I got salt.
What about earlier? You got my sausage? No, I don't got your sausage. Get your own sausage.
Spent money on that.
They wrote it. It's in the script.
Daisy cries, seeing Tom.
That was actually Pacino just talking to the crass person. They just edited. Oh, the movie has so much ADR that doesn't match.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
No.
Yeah, I wrote the ADR is horrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of ADR where it's like Pacino clearly didn't say that and they just edited
This
it in.
specific part, actually, after the scene.
Yeah,
because
it's
they
coming up.
talk in the tent, and then the Chad
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Indian
yeah.
leaves because he's like, they're going to bone.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Now
they
they're
don't.
they're like really good scouts.
Yeah, they're scouts.
yeah.
Yeah, they're Indians now.
Yeah.
They joined like the Huron, and they have like necklaces and like they're wearing similar clothes, but it's never really.
I'm a
explained.
frontiersman.
Yeah,
Go out in the wilderness.
like there's
with my
so
gun.
much. You're supposed to assume so much.
We could have shown all that, but we're just gonna walk.
Daisy has to like bring supplies and like wounded people somewhere.
Yeah. And she runs into Al again.
This
for
is the
first
ADR.
time.
Yeah.
This is the ADR because she's leaving the camp, and he's like, "Are you married? Do you like the guy?"
He chases down her like car.
We find out
Smelling
she's
like
been at
Scarface.
sea and hanging out with a sea captain.
Yes.
She's wearing his
She's wearing
coat.
a captain's coat.
And she's like, no, I just want to marry you.
And he's yelling at her. So you're gonna marry that guy?
Exactly
no,
like that.
only you, Tom.
They've
only
met
you.
3 times.
Yes,
This is like the
I'm
fourth-
madly in love with you, Tom. And then in the most ridiculous scene ever,
Oh, this is so good.
Why was this?
a British raiding party comes out from behind a hill. No one saw them. There's like, this is fucking Valley Forge, right? First of all, it's supposed to be the middle of winter.
Yes.
They wouldn't be there if it wasn't the middle of winter, but it's like a nice day.
Well, no, it's snowing in the camp.
But
Outside the camp, it's a beautiful spring day.
Right. This is a legendary, horrific winter, right?
Yes.
It's in our fucking national mythology.
That it's like suffering. Like you hear about like the soldiers
Right.
losing their feet to frostbite and shit.
Sweating.
right? And a raiding party
British
comes up from behind a hill. No scouts got them. No lookouts. Out of nowhere, they walk pretty much at the gates of Valley Forge. And they just attack her. The guy sees her, calls her by name.
He's like, you're the one that stabbed me, cock.
Daisy McConaughey, you traitor.
And then
the-
like he hits her with a
does
sword.
the-
It looks like
slash.
It looks like he cuts her like in
Yeah.
half. Like
Yeah.
she's dead.
Well, his slash is kind of like, well, if you're listening, it's a light slash, but if you're looking at the video, like this.
Yes.
And she like falls, and the music is so over
And
dramatic.
Pacino just stops
He just
running.
watches.
He's
Oh, and by
watching
the way,
horror.
it's the guy who got stabbed in the dick who does
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's
We
the
never
dick
see that
stab.
character again.
He,
ever.
no payoff to it.
Yep, he's done.
Just for the record, Valley Forge never got attacked like that.
And like now we're in Philly, and they're like, the war's over in 2 weeks.
Yup, France is joining the war is over in 2 weeks.
But
And it's like, wait.
And Pacino is like looking for Daisy everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And-
he
And we
thinks
see
he
a
doesn't know
ra-
what happened. She literally like, why didn't anyone go investigate?
They're all just like, I guess it's all right.
The entire American army is sitting right there. Everybody involved in this fight is right there.
Nobody checked on the supplies.
They're like, oh, I hope the shit got there.
They sent two
We
women.
just watched this woman get massacred over there. It's like 100 feet from us. Maybe even, you don't even have to go fight the guys. Maybe in like an hour, go walk out and see what happened. Maybe she's hiding under a log.
She ran halfway and was like,
I got little legs. I can't run that much.
If I try to run over there, the movie will be over.
and now there's a random dude in a house who went to Harvard teaching us about the moon.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
It's a revolution.
what was that?
It's a scientific revolution, too.
Look at our clever wordplay. We're gonna win the Oscar for best screenplay.
This is Ben Franklin's house. We don't say that, but maybe it
How
is.
do you know this? Well, I went to Harvard.
Oh, that's good enough for me.
I guess.
Yeah, they have this scene in Philly.
Oh my god. this
So
is
they go,
ridiculous.
long live Washington, and then we cut to Yorktown 3 years later.
And now Ned, I assumed, was 37.
It's the end of the war.
Yeah.
We've skipped the entire revolution.
We're at the
This
end.
point, I wrote, I still don't know the
What a
point of
wild
this
ride
film.
it's been.
Yeah. And Pacino is sniping.
Now he's amazing.
He's a marksman.
Yeah, he's shooting dudes from 1,000 yards away with his Kentucky rifle.
It is just.
And him and his kid, they see Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
It's
And they're
Last
like,
of the Mohicans.
That's the piece of shit
It's
that
Donald Sutherland. He beat up your feet. Let's go get him.
and he speaks here. He can't read or write English, but he speaks here.
Yeah. He's been hanging out with those two guys.
and they're like
This is
he's,
the best scene, by the way.
they're like, he's trying
Yes.
to go to the beach.
Yeah.
We gotta stop him.
This whole sequence of the battle was cool. I wish it was more of this before
Yeah.
the beach, like right before the beach with the sniping.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's a
this is
siege.
cool.
It's a
This is
yeah.
nice. And now the officers are escaping through what appears to be northern Scandinavia.
I actually think this is a very beautiful landscape. I'm not sure if it's Virginia. Maybe it is. No, it's definitely not.
think it's
England.
Virginia,
This
too.
whole thing was filmed in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Europe.
Virginia doesn't look
Probably
like
like the
that.
hills
No.
of Scotland or something. Some Scottish fucking bay.
And this also was really weird because it's a retreat from the English with 2 English officers and 2 of the Mohawk. And that's it. Nobody else is retreating.
No, they're not retreating. He thinks they're going after their spotters, but I don't understand how. They just kind of walked onto a beach.
I thought they were retreating like because they're all about to get wiped out. Like they were.
You think they're trying to escape?
I thought the officers
There
were
is no
trying to escape, but there was no boats or anything. So I don't know where they were.
I think they were trying to flank by going around, right?
I'll just
4
quickly.
people, I guess.
What Yorktown was all about. The army of Cornwallis attempted to go to the town of Yorktown to get picked up by the British Navy because they had been being chased across the Carolinas
Chased back to the sea.
by Nathaniel Greene. Washington.
Colonel Greene?
No, not Colonel Greene. Washington, after a lot of convincing by Lafayette and a couple other guys, realized that this is the perfect opportunity to end the war. So
This could be the killing blow.
he moved his army out of New Jersey and force marched it all the way down to Virginia to trap them on the peninsula at Yorktown while the French Navy blockaded the city from the sea. So they're completely trapped.
Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say they're not blockaded and they get away.
War continues.
Okay.
Yeah. Because really what has happened here, what won the war is 2 entire British armies have been destroyed. One at Saratoga, one at Yorktown. British Parliament guys in Parliament will say that
It's not worth it.
Anyone who still supports the war at this point is an enemy of the British Empire. Like it's
not worth it.
it's costing us so much money, men, and time. We can't. The colonies are gone. We lost them.
We still have Canada. Let these stupid assholes.
Right.
They'll fail anyway.
Yeah, they're kind of looking like they're looking at democracy like it's gonna fall apart.
Exactly.
Right.
So the officers get blown away by Tom
In
and Nick.
300 years, we'll be proven right.
I got him dead,
Shays
Pa.
Rebellion, maybe.
Yeah.
Got him dead, Pa. You do, Ned. No, once again, that's actual dialogue.
Yeah.
So Jim from The Office now shows mercy on the officer because the actor is a spitting image.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah. You can look at the
Yeah,
side by
he
side.
doesn't. He doesn't kill Sutherland. By the way, why did they give Sutherland this weird mole?
He suddenly has a crazy mole. I thought he had
it
the
whole
plague.
time. He had it the whole time.
No, he had it the whole time,
Yeah.
but it's really weird. Like why was that a choice?
It's a Pacino movie. It's a shot of De Niro.
Oh, you think so? Do you think they like each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're friendly
Yeah?
friends. Yeah, they're
They run in the
friends.
same circles. I'm sure.
Do you think that they bust each other's balls? Like Pacino's like, you were in Rocky and Bullwinkle. He's like, don't get me started on a revolution. You know?
Jack and Jill.
At least mine has a little bit of merit to it. I'm doing Shakespeare in the Park. What are you doing?
And now we
You're
get
the bad grandpa.
we get
Oh no, you're dirty grandpa.
yeah. We get the singing.
Yes.
Yes.
So, what the hell is going on? It's like almost like Gangs of New York when they were like doing the Irish scene. It reminds me of that. But it's like this lady's just kind of singing. There's bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
It's really slow, weird.
A lot of
choice.
bodies.
A lot of bodies.
Yep.
Weird choice of angles. And
They silhouette like people singing on a bridge.
did they hint at Washington riding by with the flag?
I don't think it's Washington. It's just like that's symbolically
outfit.
like
Yeah,
this
symbolically
Yeah.
Washington.
independence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was the same. It was Washington's hat, his outfit with the flag. It wasn't him, but it seemed like that's what they were referencing.
And now Pacino goes to like redeem his boat thing, and he's not going to get his land, and he's very upset.
Yep.
And
Oh
he's like,
yeah, this last.
he's like, if you don't give us what we want, we're going to fight again.
Right.
And it's like we spoke before about Shays Rebellion.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of what they're referencing here.
Should we say real quick what it
Yeah,
is?
what Shays Rebellion was in the immediate aftermath of the war, the government formed was the Articles of Confederation. And this is very loose government. The states kind of had the authority to do whatever they wanted. There's
Every
no-
state was basically its own country.
Yeah, it's like a loose military alliance.
Yeah.
It's almost like the way the Holy Roman Empire functioned
Mm-hmm.
in a way. You got like these independent countries that have a coalition of in military.
They don't even
matters.
have a shared currency.
Right. So Massachusetts, in order to pay its war debt, decided that the best way to go about this was to get a cabal of like big business types in Boston to align with the new state government and use the government power to tax these farmers in Western Pennsylvania.
And for the record, it was a very small amount. It's like 2 or 3%, something like that.
Right, but it's disproportionately burdensome on
Yes.
these poor guys out west, where it benefited the merchant class in Massachusetts. It's a union between big business and the Congress. You know,
Yeah.
you could say that America failed right there. You could make a case for it. Democracy is easily corruptible.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Daniel Shays, or is it Dave? No, Daniel.
Daniel.
Shays.
He's like, we just fought this whole revolution.
Right. All these guys that are being taxed are the veterans.
Yes.
We
We went through all this shit.
Right.
So we wouldn't have to pay taxes.
Yes. They get together and become a belligerent army, essentially, they start going to courthouses and shutting down, keeping taxes from being collected, and stopping any kind of government business from happening. And in response, the merchant class in Boston will hire a mercenary army to fight these guys. And the rebellion was put down.
Yeah. Isn't Washington like he basically puts them down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He does pardon all of them.
they rounded up the ringleaders, and for the most part, all of them, went home, and they took it to what their grievances and fixed a lot of the problems. But there were ringleaders of the mob that were hanged.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
thought everybody got pardoned.
No,
Oh, I didn't know that. Did Shay he got pardoned, right?
I believe he got hanged.
Oh, really?
I believe so. I could be wrong. Probably should have looked this up instead of just going off the top of my head.
I mean, you were pretty right. Like,
The movie really doesn't have much to do with this, so
Are Shays hanged?
hold on.
It's just inferred to at the end.
yeah, that's
It's like if you
Not
know,
something you
you
wanna
know
look
what
up.
they're getting. At.
Shay was pardoned,
Okay, I stand corrected.
and he was granted a pension by the federal government for the 5 years he served without pay, and he lived the last few years of his life in poverty and shit.
all right.
And there you go.
What are you gonna do?
Well, Tom's gonna stay in New York and learn how to read.
Oh my god.
Yes.
This makes no fucking
Throughout
sense.
the movie, he keeps saying, "I can't read."
I don't know
He's like Zoolander.
what's happening. Ned's gonna go get.
I fought this
land.
entire war to keep my son alive. Now the war is over. We can finally live in peace.
Fuck my son.
You get the fuck out of here. I'm staying here.
You go west.
Yeah.
They won't bother you.
Why doesn't he go with them?
I don't know.
He's like,
thinks
I
his-
gotta stay here and make rope.
Yeah.
He goes, "There's stuff for me here."
He thinks his girlfriend is dead.
Yes.
Like, what is he doing?
There's nothing for him.
Yeah.
I think this.
It's where I want it.
This
What
ending
I
is
think
so
this
confusing.
is this is a critique of America and the American system, and he's saying that this is already bad and a failure. You got to go west because America is not there yet, and you could settle down and be left alone.
I think
And that's why he tells his kid to
Yeah,
go
because
west.
he has like a little speech about how we got to go where no one's going to lord over. us.
Exactly.
I
But
think,
that's I think that's what the
You think
movie's
that's
trying
what
to
the movie's
say.
getting at?
No,
Yes.
you know what I think happened? I think they ran out of budget. They're like, what characters and outfits do we have on hand? They got the Huron guy. Don't know why he's there. They got the young kid. Don't know why he's there. They got they got the son. They got the pregnant son's girlfriend.
Where that came out of nowhere. He suddenly has a
He
pregnant girl.
kisses her stomach. They're like, let's just throw an ending together.
I think there's a scene where it's the Valley Forge scene. He just starts talking to her.
You're right. He talks
Yeah.
to her for 1 second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell them about me.
You know how love works in this world.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see you.
Tom sees Daisy's maid, who he's met once
Coffee.
in Mount Doom.
Coffee, right?
Coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee? I thought it was
Yeah.
coffee.
And he's like chasing her because she might know where Daisy is.
Hey, you seen your master?
And that's when they throw in like we want freedom too, the
Yeah.
little,
Yeah,
little
it's like a second.
second. You see some pugilists at a dock,
Yeah, there's boxers now.
which is gangs of New York.
New York
Yeah.
is quickly turning into the
Yes.
1800s.
Yes.
And then Daisy's alive, and
She has one cut on her face.
nobody lost anything.
Well, that one guy lost an eye.
Yes.
That's about it. and he's gonna find us a place. You get this shitty.
Oh, glad to see you. I just lost my son.
Yeah.
Glad I have a reason to live now.
I'm gonna make a new one.
He's telling his son to take his future grandchild into the woods.
Go out in the
and
wilderness.
survive.
I'll never see you again. Have a nice life.
There's stuff for me here. I'm gonna learn how to read. I'm gonna become an educated man. I'm gonna make a lot of money. But go fuck yourself, kid.
Wish me luck, because you're never going to hear from me again.
It's incredibly bad.
This movie is not good.
It stinks. It stinks on ice.
But I'm glad we watched it.
I
had fun watching it. I'm
Yes,
not gonna
I did.
lie.
I had fun watching it, waiting to talk to you guys about it. I was like, this is gonna be good.
Revolution, man.
Revolution.
Movie that is-
Do you want to rate it or look at the drawing first?
Let's look at the drawing. What do you got, Brain?
All right.
How many stars on that flag? Oh,
Those are stars? It's a flag.
There it is. It's the old stars and
Yep.
stripes.
Hold on, I'll count
That's
the
the
stars.
raw style.
They're dots, but I'll count the stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a music note.
Brian doesn't acknowledge the existence of Georgia.
Exactly.
And the stripes are 1, 2, 3, 5 stripes.
5 stripes.
It's an artist's interpretation.
Interpretation, but you know what? I know this is the flag.
You know what it is.
I know
right?
this is the
I'm going
flag.
for the emotions you feel when
Right,
you look at
yeah,
it. You
right,
know.
right.
It's the flag. I
It's
get
historical
It. I
fiction.
get
Yeah.
it. I get that. I respect it.
So,
Rating.
fine. What are your ratings?
And you go first. You never get to go first.
3.
That low? Is that your lowest rating?
No.
You gave this a lower score than Walt.
Did I?
Versus
All right, I'll give it a 4
Walt
then.
before Mickey.
4.
Okay.
It's not worse than that. Walt Before Mickey is a worse movie.
Yeah. This actually has
This has
craftsmanship.
redeemable value. It's just, it is a terrible movie.
I gave it a 3.
Is that? I think that's your
Worse-
lowest
it's
rating.
You know,
worse than Walt
I
Before
feel
Mickey.
kind of bad piling on a universally hated movie. You know, like nobody likes this movie. And
Yeah.
it's critically panned. I always want to be the guy that's like, no, it's actually good.
I'm gonna be that guy.
But it's not.
You can't be that guy. Dude, Walt Before Mickey at least had a tangible story. Movies are about stories. This didn't have a story
It didn't have a story. He's
at
right.
all.
There is no story.
Not only that, it was poorly done with music, directing.
I actually will.
I'm going to give it a 4.
So bad.
What do you got?
I'm sticking with the 3.
He's giving it a 3. What do you got, Brain?
It's shit.
Get ready, guys. 10.
What is it, Brain?
Okay. No. The real score I'm gonna give it. It's not good, but I did like the cinematography. I like the sets. And I had fun watching it. Like,
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I'm gonna go 5.
5? Okay. Fine. If you were going to say 6, I was going to yell at you.
Yeah.
I was close, but I was like, it's not passing. It's a 5.
It is just.
If
not
you've never
redeemable.
seen it, it's not good, but there is some interesting things at least, you know.
Is there?
I can't say I've seen a movie like this before. Right?
It is unique.
What a silver lining. It's a one of a kind. I think there's a reason why they don't make these. There was
Great cast. Great cast.
Pacino and Sutherland, you're like, oh, I'm
This
in
would be
for
great,
it, right?
There's so many missed
When
opportunities.
did you first hear about this?
I think I saw it
When
on
we
like
picked
a
it.
Watch Mojo list. As like,
what?
Of like the biggest bombs or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard about it when we
And I was
picked
like,
it.
when I saw it, I'm like, this looks cool. I want to see this.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, I'm the guy who watches Waterworld and is like, this is good. You know? And I thought maybe watching this, I'd turn around and be like, how could an American Revolution, how could I watch an American Revolution movie and be like, this is bad? How did they do that? How do they make me do that?
They did it.
You found out.
Like, I love this shit. It's like my favorite topic.
Yup.
That's why you gave it a 4. Because the topic. It's a 3. It's a 3. You like the topic, you gave it a 4. Sure, I'll give you that. That is all right.
It sucks.
This
It's so bad.
this is the worst thing we've done.
No, it's
No.
not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It's not
Oh,
worse than Walt Before Mickey. That movie is
There's no
irredeemable.
Charge of the Light Brigade. Honestly, I'd rather watch this and Walt Before Mickey before Charge
At
of the Light
least there's
Brigade again.
truth in Charge of the Light Brigade.
No,
they don't even know how to work seasons in this. Seasons.
Charge of the Light Brigade had a great second half.
Yeah, but it's just a fucking slog.
So is this.
I didn't find this to be a slog.
You like the fox hunt?
Yeah, that's fucking weird. Pacino's dragging the thing around.
You like the weird fucking sex party?
You like the fact that British command wants to rape kids?
See, I didn't pick up on the rape. I'm not gonna lie.
How? How did you?
I missed it. I don't
He
know.
wants a boy.
To shine his shoes.
All right,
That's it.
you guys want to say bye?
Thank you for watching and listening.
Yes. Ditto.
Ditto. Yeah. What?
Like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, it's smash
Ring the bell.
the like, ring the bell.
People don't like ringing the bell.
Nah, I don't like ringing the
Do
bell.
you ring the bell on the channels you follow?
I didn't even know there was a bell.
So
until
the
you
bell
told me
gives you
about it.
notifications.
I have
Yeah, I got no need for
like
that.
one channel with the bell.
Okay.
Because I hit it by accident and I'm too lazy to untap it. So I get like Mead creating videos like pop
Okay.
up and I'm
Guy,
like,
like
that might be
a
cool.
guy I spoke to was like, I subscribe to your channel. I really like it. And he's like, I'm not hitting that bell, though.
Nah,
That's
don't-
what he said.
Yeah.
He won't do the bell.
I said, you're going to hit the bell? He goes, I don't hit the bell.
Nah, nobody hits the bell. The bell's stupid.
You gotta hit the bell. You're missing good shit.
Oh, you can watch it. Just the bell's
Yeah.
a little crazy.
All right.
All right, half-hour outro. Here we go.
All right, ready? Want to give a thank you all to everybody for listening and or watching the show. Want to give a big thank you to Tell 'em Steve, Dave, Brywalt, Q, Get 'em, Lannis Record down in the studio. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for listening. Like and review the show on Apple iTunes. It helps potential sponsors find the show. Follow us on all social media. Like and subscribe. We're Review History Pod on Twitter, Reviewing History Pod everywhere else. You can send an email to the show at reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com. You can follow me personally on all social media at Brian Rupert with 2 P's. Follow me on Letterboxd. I rank and review every single movie I watch. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you next time. Have a happy 4th of July to Americans. To the rest of you, I'm sorry you're not American. Have a great day. Goodbye.
We will see you on tour.
What is that?
That's, I don't know, you made me think of the end of October Rust.